You know the important part's not there, it's over here. That's the important part. XXX edition. All right, guys, we're here today with the XFX GTX 280 XXX edition. Very cool card. XFX has managed to overclock I don't know what I can say here, a lot. They've overclocked it a lot. And it's finally faster than the 9800 GX2 on almost all the games that I finally tested on it. So before, a lot of people were like, oh, the 9800 GX2 is a little cheaper and it's a little faster on high resolutions. Why get the GTX 280? Well, this one is gonna kill them. And that was the answer, it was overclocking. You just needed to overclock it to make it that little tiny bit faster to finally kill that dual GPU video card. So, check this out, XXX edition's got a nice factory overclock on it. I will give you a tour and I'll talk to you about the specs. So, first of all, let me tell you what the differences are. On the regular GTX 280, you have a 600 megahertz core clock. This one is 670 megahertz. It says it on the box. So that's a pretty good, that's like a 11% increase. Now, shaders, your shader cores on here, they were operating at 1296 factory, so it's just under 1300. Now they're at 1458. So that's a pretty big jump in megahertz. It's 12.5% overclock. And then the biggest jump is the memory. They did a really good job on the memory. If you were overclocking it yourself, this is probably where you'd be taking it to, because the core, it might come at 670, but you can probably easily get it to 700. But the memory on this one, factory is 2214, so 2.2. This is 2500, 2.5 gigahertz on the memory on this DDR3. That's a 13% overclock. So that's a really nice jump in performance. So as you can see, it's a pretty sweet looking card. It's kind of weird, it has graphics on the back. You almost never see graphics on the back as well as the front. So you're definitely going to promote that you have this card. So let me give you a brief walk around as I normally do. Check that out. Two dual-link DVIs. Those are 2560 by 1600 maximum. You also see there that's the TV out. So you do have a very nice breakaway cable or a dongle. I don't know what you want to call this TV out dongle. It's got an S-Video 7-pin on one side, digital. It's got a component on the other side that will do 1080i to your TV. Now, 1080i is pretty weak. Not really, but it's kind of weak. So you can do a little better. Here's an HDMI to DVI converter. So this will get you sound and video to your television, one cable in 1080p. Progressive scan is definitely nice these days. Let me move right along. I'm going to show you this over here. Now, if you look right over here, two power connectors you're going to need. 8-pin PCI Express and 6-pin PCI Express. You have to run both of them to get this card to work. You got your little audio here. I don't know if I can pull that out. And it comes with your audio cable. I'm not really sure what the technical term for this little tiny skinny cable is, but I'm pretty sure it's like an audio loop cable or a loop back cable. Pretty cool. What else do we get on here? Let's see. Over here is, this is where your SLI is. This is where your bridge is gonna go. So if you're gonna run 2 or even 3 of these in SLI, that is where your SLI connector is going to go. And it's gonna give you a nice increase in performance when you add a second one. These GTX 280s are scaling much better nowadays with their much improved drivers. So that's a good for everybody out there who's gonna go extreme. What else can I show you? Let's just talk about everything else. In case you don't know the specs, besides the ones that I already mentioned, let me give you the factory specs of any GTX 280. First of all, it is 1 gigabyte of GDDR3. Very fast. That's operating at a 512-bit wide interface. So that's gonna give you a lot of throughput. I think in total it's like 170 gigabits per second of throughput, which is insane for a card that only has 1 GPU. It is running on PCI Express 2.0. You could put it on a PCI Express X16 regular slot, but it's not going to get the full benefit, so it's better if you have a PCI Express 2.0. You get 240 processing cores on this. So ALUs, shaders, whatever you want to call them, there's 240 on here. And they're operating at 1458 megahertz. That's pretty impressive. What else? It's ready for physics. It's ready for CUDA. So if you have an AGEA physics card for your PCI Express X1, you can pretty much grab it and throw it in the trash because it's doing all those physics calculations on board. It's ready for the CUDA platform. So if you want to do video encoding or folding at home or all the plethora of applications that are yet to come out that will be coming out soon, you will be able to do that on here. You do get DirectX 10. You get, that uses Shader 4.0, which is great. HDCP, high bandwidth digital content protection, so you can stream your Blu-rays to your television. OpenGL 2.1, the dual link DVIs, all this really good stuff. If you're going to run this card, you definitely need to have a good power supply. You're going to need at least probably minimum 450 to 500 watt power supply. It actually pulled just under 300 watts, just the card itself. So that's pretty power hungry. It does have a huge GPU. The chips on here are 65 nm and they're big. They're not a little chip, they're big chips. So make sure you get a good power supply. It will run quite cool. I had no problems. Even at full load, this thing was in the low 50s. That's Celsius, obviously, but that's very cool, and that's that this card's overclocked a lot. So really awesome card. I want to show you benchmarks because you can get the gist. It's about 12 to 15% over the factory GTX 280. So it's definitely beating the 9800 GX2 out finally, as it should. And if you think about it, that's like two 8800 GTs with all that extra memory on that dual GPU board. They're killing it with one card. So that's pretty impressive. If you have questions on this card or any of the other cards, go ahead and email me, and I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the XFX GTX 280 XXX edition, go to CompUSA.com and type in P450-282 into the search box. Or you can always call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 1-800-CompUSA.